Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, probably mostly gentlemen. Today I'm going to show you how to set up an AutoCAD 2025 C#.NET programming project in Visual Studio 2022 with MS Forms, and also how to set up the debugging so that AutoCAD is started automatically when you start debugging. I'm doing this because while there is a video series on how to do this in Visual Studio, what was it, 2019, using AutoCAD 2020. It doesn't work for AutoCAD 2025. And so I want to program in C#.NET for AutoCAD and have access to MS Forms. And I was very frustrated, and it took me, I don't know, a few days to get all the information necessary on how to do it, and I finally got it to work, so now I'm going to share it with the world. This is actually my first video on my channel, but I might release it as the second video because I want to do a one or two videos on Autolist before I do this. I'm not sure. I might immediately release this or not, but in any case, this is actually the first video that I am recording. So if there are a few ers and ums, I apologize ahead of time, but in any case, let's get into it. I basically followed along the example code in the AutoCAD 2025 documentation. I'll bring that up now. And I did what's in here, but there are a few things missing that I have added, or I know how to add. I'm going to show you that. So in any case, you can find this in the AutoCAD 2025 documentation right about here. And so I'm gonna perform this for you, and I'm also going to show you the extra things you got to do in order to get the forms working and also debugging working in Visual Studio 2022. All right, so here we go. First thing you do is you start up Visual Studio. You create a new project. And you choose this class library here, C# Windows Library. And out of all these, you choose this one here, not this one down here, okay? Not that one, but this one. And you click Next. And then you put in the project name. Use the same name as in the example given in the documentation because it's referred to in the code. So that's my first project, I think it was. My first project. Let's double check that. I think that's what they use. Just say my first project, okay? Hit enter. Next, rather. And if it's not already chosen, choose .NET 8.0 long-term support. Click on create. Okay? And then you just follow along. Okay? We've done that here. And now it says to put this here into the project file. You need a little bit more than that in order to get the Microsoft Forms functionality to work. And I actually have that over here somewhere. There it is. All right. It's right here. I'll include this document with the final code that I'll put on GitHub somewhere. So you copy that, you go back to Visual Studio, you right click on the project name and you go to Edit Project File. And then you put that information in right here beneath that property group. And then you save it. And you continue on with the documentation. You don't do this stuff right here. You basically go on to the next section. Right here. I'll include these links in the documentation that I've created. In any case, what you do now is you reference the AutoCAD.NET API files, and this is how you do that. You come over here and you click dependencies, right-click the dependencies rather. Click Add Project Reference. Click Browse. And then you go to your AutoCAD 2025 directory, okay? And then you include the 3 .NET files, ACoremgd.dll, acmgd.dll, and acdbmgd.dll. Here's that one. I got the others referenced, but I'll just go and get them like you would if you've never referenced them before. And then acdbmgd. And that's it. That's all there is to that section. And as you saw, that's added to the project file. These 3 references here. Then you go back to the reference documentation. And now we're going to create a new command. We're going to use the same, we're going to use this code included with the documentation. What it does, it just creates a little text object that says welcome to .NET or something like that. So we will copy that, and then we'll go back to the project, and in your class1.cs file, you replace what is already there with what's in the documentation. And it's going to create a new mtext entity, and it's just to demonstrate that the environment is working. These lines are here because these create warnings, but the code will work. In any case, you go back, and I think now they're going to want you to compile and run. And it's a good time to do it because those settings in the project file are not going to take effect until you restart, I believe, you restart Visual Studio. In any case, I think the project will run at this point. Oh, there's also another thing that you should do in order to have the environment run, start AutoCAD for you. I think if we run it right now, you're going to get an error. Yeah. Oh, you're going to get an error that you have to correct, actually. And I'll show you what that is. This one here. Oh, there's 2 things you got to do. I'm sorry. You got to go into your project properties and you have to change two things. Well, you got to make sure that .NET 8.0 is chosen in a target framework, and the other thing is you got to make sure that target OS says Windows. Okay, and so we'll go back, and I think it won't compile this time because, well, let's see what happens. Oh, there's more build errors. Let's see what it is. Oh, yes, that's right. So because we've included the MS Forms functionality, there are two application objects, and it's ambiguous. So what we have to do here is tell the Visual Studio is that we want the AutoCAD application. And so you say Autodesk.AutoCAD dot application services dot application. That will remove that ambiguity. So if we try to run it again, now it says a project with an output type of class library cannot be started directly. And this is, I'll show you how to fix that. All right. What you do is you create a directory in your your project directory called properties. Okay, and then inside that directory you create a file called launchsettings.json. I've already created one. And now once you create that launchsettings.json file in the properties directory, you can edit that through Visual Studio. As you can see, the properties directories in here. Here's launchsettings.json. And what you do is you make sure that this line here references your AutoCAD executable, and then your working directory references the directory where your .NET DLL would be. And that's it in my case here. And so now that we have that, let's see if it'll work correctly now. Okay, so now what you got to do is you have to net load the DLL. So you got to browse to that directory. I'm already here because that's the last directory I went to when I was preparing for this video. And then you load it. My first project right there, .dll. Click on it. Don't worry about that. And now you execute the command. That command was ADSK greeting. Okay. ADSK greeting. There it is. All right, so in the lower left-hand corner, greetings, welcome to AutoCAD.net. That means that the environment is working. All right, so now we want to add the Microsoft Forms functionality. So we'll get out of AutoCAD. That'll end the debugging. Now, in order to, we're going to demonstrate the Microsoft Forms functionality. Okay. And so we already have the functionality. All we got to do is use it, actually. So the way you do that is you right-click on My First Project, go to Add, and those changes we made in the the project file, it added this option on the add menu, form, add form. So we will let's give the form a test, the name of test form. Okay, we'll add it. All right, there's your test form. You can go into the toolbox and put a button there if you want. Whatever. I'm not going to do anything with it. You all should know how to program a Windows form in C# if you want to use that functionality. And so now all we got to do is add some code that's going to reference and display this form. So we go back to class1.cs, and we will just copy this code right here. A little bit of this code that created the previous command. We will change the name to show form. We'll put in some code that you should know already. It will be, this says my project 1. That shouldn't be correct. Let's go over to testform.cs, view the code. All right, this is in my namespace my first project. So class 1 should be my first project as well. I'm not sure why my first project 1 got in there. But we'll go back here and make the command. It will be test form test equals new test form. Very good. Whoa, what happened? Equals new test form. Form test.show. And that should do it. So let's rebuild the solution. Build the solution. Now, there's a couple problems here, but that's to be expected, I believe. Oh, that's my first project 1 reference. It should be my first project. Let's rebuild again. So 1 succeeded. Okay, it looks like that worked this time. But I think, oh no, this is correct. Autodesk.AutoCAD application services. So let's run this. I gotta run the netload command again. And my first project, DLL, is now loaded. And we still have ADSK greeting is working. Now we'll run the new command. What's the name of it again? Show form. There it is. And it works. It works. You got debugging, you got your Windows test form. I'm sorry, a Windows form in the project. And debugging automatically starts AutoCAD. And I believe we've accomplished everything we want to accomplish. Thank you very much for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up if you would, please. That would be very much appreciated. And, well, I mean, just keep looking for my videos here. Hopefully it's going to be a big success, this channel that I got here. And well, have a nice night. Talk to you later.